Yes, here on Times Radio, we know it's not always politicians that have all the answers. So every week we ask somebody who's not a politician what they would do if they ruled the world. And this week we are joined by the rugby union legend, Matt Dawson. Hi, Matt.
Hello there, Matt. Yeah, I'm not. I'm a bit edgy about this. I'm a bit nervous.
Well, that's all right. It's all right. You can do what you like. You don't need to worry because we are putting you in charge of the world. What would be the first big change that you'd want to make?
So the trouble is the danger is that you're trying to. I will try and get too political, and I'm not really a political animal. But I think democracy is pretty important, and getting rid of that sort of dictatorship. But also, I would first thing I would do is get rid of handshakes. I
Wow,
just don't think we
handshakes
need them.
before dictators. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
presumably this is something you've discovered in the past couple of years during COVID that we don't need them anymore.
yeah. But let's just do something. Let's all just agree. Do we fist bump? Do we handshake? Do we kiss on two cheeks? Let's just all agree across the world what we do. I'm just far too many scenarios. I get caught out, and you're doing yeah. I think that would be my absolute priority, and then very closely, the second is to let's get some democracy around the world.
That's a lot. There's a lot to be going on with. And what sort of leader do you think you are, Matt? Are you a sort of team player? Are you dictator, hands on, hands off?
I'm very much the delegator type. Um, I truly believe in sort of strength and expertise and using the skills around me. I'd like to think I do have plenty of skills myself, but I'm not going to pretend to do something that I don't know anything about.
And because you captain England as well, I mean, how difficult is that when you've got lots of people around you with strong views and that sort of stuff? How do you manage a team like that?
When you're in amongst great people, great players, great coaches, it's actually not as difficult as would be made out. There are lots of leaders within certainly the teams that I was captain of. Ultimately there are some decisions that you need to maybe just draw on the expertise that you have and take the risks yourself. But yeah, I was always keen to listen to what others had to say, what they had to bring, and then sort of process that yourself and come up with a decision. Ultimately, I didn't mind being accountable and responsible for those decisions, but I'd like to be as informed as possible. And I was very lucky to play in a team that, that shows itself in many different ways, doesn't it? Whether it's people showing confidence or overconfidence, or sometimes they won't say anything at all and they'll just be playing rugby and they're leading by example. But it's sort of amalgamating all of those skills together and ultimately be seen to be guiding the team and individuals in the right direction.
And so then we always ask, who would you have in your team around you then? Your team of advisors, and we'll let you have anyone. They could be dead or alive, real or fictional. But who would you want in that team with you?
I'd like a mixture of strong leadership, bit of humor. Physically, I'd like someone quite intimidating. I'm thinking someone like The Rock, who's very influential, hundreds of millions of followers, and physically he's not going to get intimidated. He's got a good bit of humor. Maybe you could mix him in with someone like Clint Eastwood, who's a little bit more old school, wise, been there, done it. I think it made a good little combo, that.
I like that. The Rock. That seems like a very good. That does seem like a very good combo. And because we know that all political careers always end up in failure, or they always end in tears. What would be your vice that means you don't ultimately have to resign?
Well, my vice is golf.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love it. it would be my downfall, maybe because I would play too much of it, given the opportunities. If I was ruling the world, I could play wherever I liked. So therefore, I would be playing too much of it. I'd be getting photographed, laughing and joking on the golf course when I should be really creating different styles of handshakes around the world.
Well, it didn't do Donald Trump too much trouble, the fact that he seemed to be playing golf almost constantly when he was president.
Yeah, maybe you can get away with that, but I still think it was probably frowned upon, the amount of golf that, and it's always commented, isn't it, that particularly in America, when leaders are playing golf or they're swanning around on boats or they're actually enjoying themselves, I might slightly lose focus when it comes to golf. I would take plenty of invites, that's for sure.
You wouldn't be the first. Now, Matt, the real reason you're here, it's sort of all slightly connected, sort of long term, thinking about the long term and that sort of stuff. You're here to talk about a campaign about setting goals, but also being, your long term goals and how you get there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it came about because of a piece of research that I read by Canada Life that was stating the financial stability was so high up on the agenda of people, and it makes perfect sense to me. We tend to focus, when we're looking at our well-being, we tend to focus on mental well-being, quite rightly, and physical well-being, but financial well-being is absolutely critical. I mean, you and I both know the last couple of years it has been significantly different on how we spend our money, save our money, as much as how do we look after ourselves, how do we keep ourselves fit, how do we keep ourselves mentally active. And so I just thought it's an appropriate time to sort of get across to people that understanding how they look after themselves financially in the long term is done day by day, like they would with their diet, like they would with their fitness, and it's very achievable. It's very daunting. I remember saving when I was 18 years old and thinking, what on earth am I doing, putting whatever it was, I think it was like 50 quid a month away at the time. But over time, it was then creating an opportunity for me to sort of put a deposit down and get a mortgage or plan for a pension in my future. And it was just that drip effect. And when I was reading the research, and it just, that sort of resonated with me to say, all the focus at the moment tends to be around our mental health and our physical health, which is vital. But underlying to all of that research tells us that a significant amount of people enjoy having goals. It motivates them. And people want to save, but they're intimidated about saving. So I'm just sort of, I'm beating the drum about it is possible. Believe in themselves that it is possible. Just little and often makes a big difference.
Little and often is such a good thing. And also, like you said, the knock-on effect, if you are financially stable, that's good for other, mental health and stuff as well. Matt, it's been lovely to speak to you. Thank you for telling us what you would do if you ruled the world, Matt Dawson.
No problem at all, Matt. Good to talk.
That's spot on. Thanks very much, Matt. I know you've got busy mornings, but appreciate your time.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
Cheers, thanks a lot.